presenter versus presenter, geek versus geek. It's a showdown of... Well, it's a showdown. It's Game of Geeks.
Now, back when we used to do a Geekly show every other week, this section of the show was dedicated to something called Game of Geeks.
It was a bit of a nerd-off between the two of us, where we'd go head-to-head and see who could take the prize as the ultimate geek.
I kicked your butt up and down that studio, unless there was a kazoo involved, of course.
Yes, you did. But it's all to play for tonight. We've all been binging on shows during the lockdown, and both Katharine and I have been filling up quite nicely on Star Trek.
Oh my god, if you've not seen Picard yet, wow.
And so to test what we've both learned during our time at Starfleet Academy, it's time for a very special Star Trek edition of Game of Geeks.
A special quiz deserves a very special quizmaster, and joining us this week is the Richard Osman to our collective pointlessness. We have the host of the Trek Ranks podcast, and you may recognise him from that one time he fired the phasers on the Starship Enterprise. It's Jim Moorehouse.
Hey guys, great to be here. I did fire the phasers one time on Star Trek, yes, and I do host the Trek Ranks podcast. Track me down on Twitter at Trek Ranks or at Enterprise Extra. That's always how you can get me, and I identify he, him.
So Jim, you're not only bringing the questions for us tonight, but also the format for this quiz. Can you talk the listeners through how this is going to work?
Okay, so basically I broke it up into rounds for topics, and it's one question per person with the ability for the other person to steal. And we set it up so that it's a straight question with no multiple choice. So if you get that answer right, you get 4 points. If you decide you need a little help and need the multiple choice, I'll read those off, and then you get 2 points if you get it right. And of course, if you do not get the question right, then your opponent has a chance to steal, and they would get 1 point for the steal.
Well, are you ready, Katharine?
I'm ready when you are.
Oh, that's fighting talk, that is.
Okay, question number 1. So the first question goes to Katharine. What is the name of the episode in which Sarek is first seen to have a long-distance Katra connection with Michael Burnham?
Ooh, I'm going to struggle to pronounce the name of this episode. Oh, do I go for
Do you want the options, or are you going to go for...
Go for the safe. I'm going to play it safe for this first one.
There are 4 options here. Lethe, Battle at the Binary Stars, Context is for Kings, Into the Forest I Go.
Okay, so glad I went for the 4 options, because I was thinking of the wrong thing. I'm going to go for Battle at the Binary Stars.
Ding, 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 ding! That is right. Well done, because you were going to go with Lethe, and I was like,
I was.
All right, so 2 points for Katharine. Kes, here's your question. What is the name of the episode in which Geordi LaForge is kidnapped by Romulans to assassinate a Klingon governor?
I know this episode. I love this episode, but what is it called?
What is the name of the episode?
I know the episode so well.
You have the options.
I'm gonna need the options.
Okay, here are the 4 options: the enemy, the mind's eye, face of the enemy, the neutral zone.
The enemy.
Oh, I am so sorry. It is the mind's eye. It's a tricky one though, because he made friends with a Romulan in the enemy.
Yeah, I knew it was a Romulan one.
Yep.
That's the one where they're stranded on the planet, isn't it?
Yep. Name the species round. Kes, we're starting with you in this round.
Oh, exciting.
What is the name of the proto-Vulcan species featured in Who Watches the Watchers?
Again, I know this. I really do.
I'm so glad this is not my question.
I think I'm going to need the options.
Okay, here are the 4 options. The Pavans, the Mintakans, the Gagarins, or the Malkorians?
I'm sure it's the Mintakans.
You are correct, Kes.
Yes.
Great job. I'm so happy you got that. Okay, let's go to Katharine. What is the name of the godlike species that set up Kirk and Gorn to fight in Arena?
Oh, I'm going to need the options.
Okay, this is a original series question. The Melkotians, the Ecosians, the Talosians, or the Metrons?
Metrons.
Metrons is correct.
Oh, phew.
And What character said the following line in the episode In the Cards from Deep Space Nine? Do you want to die? From
That would
Deep
be
Space
Dr.
Nine.
Elias Geiger.
Oh, well done.
What?
Spectacular.
There is probably no episode of Star Trek I have watched more times.
Sorry, Kes.
Sorry.
Yours is difficult as well. What character said the following line in the episode Children of Time from Deep Space Nine? They existed. As long as we remember them, they always will.
All I can think of is The Next Generation.
I can give you the 4 options.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to, but already Katharine is so far ahead of me.
Kira, Dax, Cisco, O'Brien.
Process of elimination, I don't think it's O'Brien. I'm sure O'Brien would have been snarkier about it. O'Brien would have been like, well, they're dead now.
Superb reasoning.
I don't know, I think I'm going to go with Kira.
It is not Kira. We have a chance. Kes has missed the question, and now you have a chance to steal.
Amazing. It's a guess from me as well. Based on those 4 options, I'm going to say Cisco.
It was Cisco, indeed.
I should have trusted my gut.
Where Deep Space Nine is concerned, always go with your gut.
Okay, Kes, the Name the Planet round. What planet does the action take place on in the Enterprise episode 2 Days, 2 Nights?
I recently rewatched Enterprise, and I do kind of remember this episode. I think I spent a lot of time during this episode thinking about Riker, which I think means it was probably set somewhere that Riker would love. I'm so behind on points, I'm going to take a guess and say Riser.
Excellent reasoning, Kes. You nailed it. It is Risa. It is 4 points for Kes. Katharine, what planet does the action take place on in the TNG episode The Enemy?
Oh no. Like the only Romulan-ish planet I can even think of is Galorndon Core, because it's got such a ridiculous name. So I'm going to say that as a big risk and go for 4 points.
Ding, 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 ding. You are correct.
Oh my god.
Sorry, Kes. I'm rooting for you now. Katharine, we're starting with you. Which captain was friends with Richard Galen?
Okay, you're going to have to give me the 4 options.
Okay, the 4 options. Friends with Richard Galen, Jonathan Archer, Christopher Pike, Jean-Luc Picard, Catherine Janeway.
I know this character.
No, the steal is on the board.
I'm going to guess Jonathan Archer.
I'm sorry, Katharine. We have a chance for a steal from Kes.
So I think, and I might be misremembering it here, and I'm going to make a complete fool out of myself, but my dad is an archaeologist, and I think that this particular character was also an archaeologist. I think he was Picard's archaeology instructor, so I'm going to say Jean-Luc Picard.
Absolutely correct. Known as...
Yes! Oh, that's the most obscure thing I've ever remembered from Star Trek.
Known as Professor Galen in the episode, but his actual name is Richard Galen. Cass, here is your Name the Captain round question. Which captain was friends with Calvin Hudson?
Can I get the options, please?
James T. Kirk, Benjamin Sisko, Jonathan Archer, Gabriel Lorca.
Random guessing here. I'm going to say Cisco.
Correct answer. 2 points.
I only picked Cisco because I didn't last time, and it would have been a winning one.
This is the tough round. The ridiculously hard number to recall round. Katharine, in the episode Little Green Men, what time does the nuclear bomb test in 1947 Nevada detonate?
I think I'm going to need 4 options to help me.
Okay, the 4 options for the time of the nuclear bomb test in Little Green Men: 5 a.m., 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m.
Okay, well, I think it was kind of dawn time in the episode, so I'm going to go with 5 a.m.
I am so impressed. That is really good. Kes. When Worf is on the phaser range in Redemption, and he's joined by Guinan, he says that he practices at X level. And she says, I guess I could come down to that level. What level does Worf practice at?
I really want to claw back some points, so I'm going to see if I can get it with a guess. I think it's like over 10, but it's less than 50.
That would give you one chance in 40.
I think it might be in the teens, so that gives me...
That would give you one chance in 7. I'm just going to say your reasoning has been spot on so far.
14.
Oh my
As a guess.
God. Oh my God, it is 14.
I'm the luckiest nerd alive.
Level
wow.
14. Kes, starting with you, this is the Guess the Quadrant round. Which quadrant would you find the Brunali homeworld?
Beta quadrant.
You guessed Beta Quadrant. That is incorrect. I am sorry. Katharine.
You would find the Brunali in the Delta Quadrant?
The Delta Quadrant is correct. That's our friend Icheb. Okay, Katharine, guess the quadrant round. What quadrant would you find the planet Karama?
That would be the Gamma Quadrant.
Oh, you're killing it. You are killing it. That one was too easy for you. Who flies the ship? Katharine, who is at the helm of the NCC 1031? We need a full name here.
A flash of inspiration, so I'm going to risk it. I'm going to say, is it Michaela Detmer?
Oh, Kes, you're so happy right now because she is like so close, but it's technically not correct. It's Kayla Detmer, not Michaela. Who is at the helm of the NCC 74656?
So I think it's Voyager. Tom Paris.
Okay. This is the Name the Klingon round. Name the Klingon.
Oh, I am going to suck at this, and Katharine is going to do so well.
Okay, well, Kes, you are up first. What Klingon served as Worf's Chadich?
Oh, yeah, I recently watched this episode. For a while, Picard was his Chadich, but then his brother was his Chadich. So what on earth was his brother's name? That's the question. And I can see his face. I remember that episode. I literally, because this is series 3 of TNG, so I watched it 2.5 weeks ago.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think I need the 4 options.
Okay, here they are. Is it Alexander Rozhenko, Gowron, Kern, or Kalar?
Okay, well, it's definitely not the first 2. It really is just a 50-50 guess, so I'm going to go with Kern.
Good guess. I don't think you would have lived down picking Kalar, his Parmakai, over Kern, his brother. 2 points.
Yay! Fantastic.
Okay, Katharine. What Klingon once investigated getting a berth on a Nyberite Alliance cruiser?
Oh, that would be our friend Mr. Worf.
Oh, man, you are good. You are good. We have one final round. This is the sport-related question from your favorite series round. That's what this one is. Okay, so Katharine, starting with you, what baseball team did Cassidy Yates' brother play for?
The Pike City Pioneers.
You are too good. Who won the hand of poker seen at the beginning of the episode Descent?
This is a much harder one. Yeah, it was Data, and there were some famous people there.
Yes.
Could I have the 4 options, please?
The 4 options are Sir Isaac Newton, Data, Albert Einstein, and Stephen Hawking.
I think it was Stephen Hawking.
It is Stephen Hawking, the only person to play himself on Star Trek.
Yeah, as soon as you said that, I seem to recall the mechanized hand thing coming down with the cards.
Game of Geeks.
It was quite a battle. And the final score it's 24-21. That's not bad.
This week's winner is Katharine.
I feel like I did a lot better than I thought I was going to. Thank you for being such a fantastic quizmaster.
I had a blast. Thanks, guys.
So much fun.
Too much fun.
Well, I'm sure we have some other Trek fans listening to the show. So tell us a little bit about your Trek podcast.
So Trek Ranks is the podcast about all the reasons we love Star Trek. I started a podcast where we just talk about the things that we love about specific episodes, topics, everything from top 5 Doctors to top 5 Picard season 1 moments. top 5 coolest episode titles that you can think of, or the top 5 shapes.
Oh, well, I'm looking forward to my next appearance on Trek Ranks. I'm going to be working on my picks all day tomorrow. So where can folks find Trek Ranks if they want to have a listen?
And everyone can find Trek Ranks at trekranks.com, or all your podcast players of choice. Just search Trek Ranks, and you can track me down on Twitter to talk Star Trek anytime at Trek Ranks or at Enterprise Extra. Pew pew!
Well, Jim, thank you so much for joining us and being part of this wonderful quiz.
Thank you, guys. So much fun.